Hi, this is Regina Y. Favors with a new series. The title of this series is When Someone Hates You, Overcoming Compromise Setback. Compromise is a very interesting term because we don't always think that the encounters that we have with people represent a compromise. A lot of times, your way may not be my way, and my way may not be your way. But in the most simple terms, positive terms, you can come to a compromise on what's the best way to handle a situation. On the negative front, compromise can be something where you do not get what you want, and you feel like the person who wants their own way, his or her own way, is sort of pushing you or bullying you or peer pressuring you to go their route. And so that can be a negative way of compromise. So I want to go through some slides here on this topic because when someone hates you and when they are asking you to compromise, a lot of times the hate refers to jealousy, and it's jealousy of something that you are. It could be gifts and talents, influence. There's a light on you. You could be a chosen person. It can be a number of things, but it's something a lot of times that they recognize about you that you haven't discovered. And when you haven't discovered your own gifts and talents, it makes you sort of vulnerable. They know something that you don't know, so now they can try to influence you and move you in a different direction. And a lot of times, it is not something that's a good way of how they handle you. They tend to move you into a state of debasing you. So that's what I want to go over in terms of this topic. When someone hates you, overcoming compromise setback. So when someone hates you, the person introduces you to compromise. Now, it is at this point where you can make a decision to say no. So, for instance, if we were looking at a drug substance abuse context, and someone asks you if you want to smoke weed with them, or smoke crack with them, or smoke cocaine, they haven't put the item in your hand. They're just asking you. Sometimes people treat it as a, aren't you curious? They'll use that kind of word, curious, to further lure you in. And so they are introducing you to compromise. You're not the type of person who goes around and smokes, or you're not the type of person who goes around and has sex with people indiscriminately. You're not that kind of person, and it doesn't mean that you hold judgment against anyone else. It's just not your pattern, it's not your standard. So when people always try to test you to see what you will give into, it's almost like the example that I use all the time, where people go to the pool hall and they want to play with the billiards. They go to the billiards, the pool hall, and they want to play with the dart board. And so the dart board obviously has a bullseye. And so you take all the different darts, 3 to 5, and you keep hitting uh, till you get to the center. And so then you'll hear everybody say bullseye. But when you don't get to the center and you get off to the sides, right, you're testing, you realize that dart that you threw did not work. It did not meet the bullseye. So you throw another dart and it didn't meet. Then you throw another one. That third one gets closer to the bullseye, but it's not the bullseye. And then you continue on until you do. Well, relationships work the same way, especially toxic relationships where people are trying to get you to compromise. They introduce you to compromise. You haven't quite compromised yet, but they are introduced. So they'll throw a dart to see if it's going to work. If you say, "Okay, I'm on a budget. I'm not going to spend any money," they'll put you in a position. They're not going to force you to do anything, but they will put you in a position to say, "Hey, let's go out to the movies," or "let's go out to eat," or something like that. But your budget is $40. They want to go to a place that's going to cost more than $40. So they're introducing you to a compromise. You're either going to say, "Oh, that's okay, I can budget next month," or you're going to stand firm on what your standard is. And your standard is, I only budgeted $40 for eating out. That's it. and that includes going to the movies. So that means that if the movies is going to be $10 to $15, I only have $25 left for food. That's it. And so when someone hates you, they introduce you to compromise. The reason why I use finances because people can be very jealous of your money. A lot of times they will create situations where they end up asking you for money. Sometimes it's a loan, sometimes it's a gift, sometimes it turns out to be a loan, but then they'll keep playing around with you and saying, "Oh, I don't have it, I don't this," or I give it to you for next paycheck, and then eventually you just say, "Oh, well, just keep it." Okay, they've introduced you to compromise. Your goal was to receive it back. You end up not getting it back. So that's something I want you to think about, because when someone hates you, they are introducing you to compromise before you actually compromise. They're not making you do anything, but they are introducing you to it. All right, so visit, follow, and subscribe. So please subscribe to the channel. You can also visit my website, reginawhitefavors.com, for tips. This particular presentation is going to be under the Overcoming Hate Setback tab. So it's going to add to the current list of serials that are also available on my YouTube channel, Regina White Favors, as well as this website. Thank you very much for listening.